In September of this year, I had the opportunity to make one hell of a memory by traveling up to the Willow Flowage in upper Wisconsin, where I got to spend the entire weekend out in the wilderness with my two oldest friends, two guys that are just so relaxing to be around, Connor and Connie. And I mean it, too. These guys are just the perfect mixture of cool and smooth, but also the life of the party when the occasion calls for it. Red and the Big Bopper are the perfect two people to go camping with. Walk through the woods, sit by a campfire at nighttime, and of course, fish. There he is. Oh, there he is. Fish on. Nice bass. Oh, and he got off. Oh, here we go. Round two. There we go. Hooked up. Hooked up. Yeah. Play him out here. That is, I'm glad I brought the scale. That is a fat bass. And we are 100% going to get a weight on that. 3 pounds, 5 ounces. Just an absolute hog here. Thanks, sweetie. That was wild to see too, because you could actually see him, because it's such shallow water, you could see him going through the water, coming after the bait and attacking it. That was fun. The Willow Flowage is so remote and wild that it's earned the nickname Almost Canada. And honestly, it's hard to argue with that. It's surrounded by undeveloped forests, swamps, and bogs, making it feel almost isolated from the modern world. Its heavy walleye population attracts plenty of anglers, targeting what I would say is the most delicious fish. But it's also a perfect place for a few nobodies like us to just get our lines wet and just enjoy the weekend. Oh, there's one. Took a swing at it. There he is. There he is. We got him on there. A snake. It's a nice snake to start the day off here. And that was on that whopper plopper. I'll show you guys in a second when I can get this fish in. Looks like a nice northern, probably about 20 inches. I gotta do a better job of getting some measurements. I'll see if I can get a measurement on this one. Yesterday I think it was 22 inches, but what do we get? Grab her handy dandy forceps, help us get the hook out. He's got it right on the corner of his mouth there, and that's very tough right there. It's a tough spot for the hook to get out of. We got her. Maybe about 20 inches, we'll say, for this one. Actually, I lied. I'm not going to measure this one. He's not big enough to deserve it. But still a nice fish, and still a nice way to start the day. That's probably, I don't know, 15 casts or so, 20 casts. And I'll show you. Thanks, guy. There he goes. So what we're rocking here is the whopper plopper, as I like to call it. Technically, I believe this one is the Berkeley El Chapo, Berkeley Chapo, one of the two. But good topwater bait, and its whole purpose, and hopefully you can see it in the videos when I'm actually fishing it, but its whole purpose is to basically have this fin. It spins around and around and around as you retrieve it, and it disperses water and creates a lot of motion. And especially in this kind of stained water, they're not fishing by sight, they're fishing by using their lateral lines. So it's really important to be able to create that motion, create that disturbance, and then get them interested in knowing exactly where it is that your bait is and they can hit it. There's one. There's a fish. There's a northern, I believe. Yep. Oh, no. I lied. It's a bass. That's not what I expected there. Wow. This is a stocky bass right here. 1 pound 11 ounces, which again, for again, 1 pound 11 ounces for how short this fish is. This has got to be this is a 13-inch fish. There's no way it's any bigger than that. And you can just kind of see the stomach on this thing. And these things are in here feeding pretty well. That 3.5 pounder I caught yesterday obviously was very girthy. And then this one is no different, okay? Thank you, Mr. Fish. After some morning fishing by myself, my two hungover pals finally crawled out of bed and joined me out on the water. Naturally, they made it just so much easier to capture good video.
GoPro, stop. Jump right out there.
It's actually, the GoPro only listens to my voice. It's synced up to my voice only. You got a fish? Is that a fish? Oh! Oh! The Walmart line! Oh! That's okay. That is heartbreaking that it broke off, though. Oh, man. You know, when I was putting that on there before, I really thought to myself, maybe I should just give you a different pole. I think that we can probably live without the Walmart pole for the rest of the trip. There's one. Our other snake. On the new bait, new chatterbait. Ooh, thanks for that. That was nice.
GoPro off.
Barely hanging on. Oh, we got ourselves nice little snake over here. Probably about, I don't know, 19-ish. Thanks, pal. And that was on our brand new chatterbait. I wish I could remember the brand. I don't. Might be Strike King, something like that. But I do know that there is also a 4-inch Strike King Rage Swimmer on the back of it. Little paddle tail. So we're throwing that now. There's one. Another one. I think it's another northern. That it is. Hey. Okay. Nope. We're counting that one. There's one. There's a fish on. Yep. Feels decent. Yeah, maybe not. Got one. Looks like another northern. Yep, it is. He ain't done yet. Whoo! Whoo! He's got some fight in him. Another nice, oh, about 20-inch pike, so not bad. That. Thanks, guy. The stuff that stays on top of the water, those weeds. I was seeing risers in there too, that I bet that frog could
Coax them out.
possibly. Got one? Oh, did you have him?
He went.
Atta boy. On the frog. A nice bass. Oh, nice bass, Connie. Let me bring the scale over.
That's a big fish.
That's a nice one.
Where's that hook? I just don't want to.
Lip him.
I know, but I don't want to. Maybe the hook in my hand.
Oh, that's a hog,
Dude,
Connie.
that's really nice.
That's a hog. That is a hog. You got him out there? Yeah, let me get over here.
Nice fish.
That is a
He's
very
on
nice.
the board.
So there are fish here, huh?
Rinse them.
Oh, Connie.
Kingfish.
3 pounds, 8 ounces.
That's big fish.
That is a hog. You go. Your fish. Wait, hold on now. You gotta get one for the camera. Oh, look at that. That's what we love to see.
Nice fish.
Good job.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Gotta let him take it. It was right on his lip too, so I didn't want to take it too much.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Roll.
Perfect fish, dude. There he is. There's a nice bat. Oh, northern. That's not what I expected to be there, actually. We got him hooked in. That is on the Strike King Rage Swimmer with a paddle tail. I think that's about a 4-inch bait. That is so fun watching them hit in shallow water, though. You can literally see the fish moving through the water. The water moves as it's like darting towards the bait. Let's see, hooked right in the corner of the mouth. Okay, here we go. Another snake for the day. Thanks, buddy. Off he goes. And then I'll just show you what it is that I'm working with right here. So we have a weighted hook here on a, I think it's 4 inches, 4-inch Strike King Rage Swimmer with a paddle tail, okay? Obviously, most of the presentation we've been working this last day and a half have been weedless presentations. Now, the nice thing is you can hook it like that if you really want, but what you can really do is you can move it up and kind of tuck that hook into the top of the bait like that, and that'll actually create it so that it is weedless and it'll go right through things. If you're going to get hooked up on anything, it might actually be where the, I mean, obviously you can tie directly to the hook as well. I use swivels for just about everything because I think it's easier, but I might get hooked up on the swivel a little bit with some vegetation, but not the hook. There you go. There's one. Nice hit. Ooh, oh, and it got off. Bummer. Dang it. Same thing. I could see the fish moving towards it, and I actually wasn't even sure if it was a fish right away. I thought I had the hook set good there, but darn it, got off. And that is, okay, so now here's what I'll say. After my last comment, I had just talked about how kind of tucking that hook into the bait makes it weedless. the other thing that it does is it does affect the hookup ratio a little bit, and that's a prime example of doing that. Saturday was a beautiful day, a perfect day from a weather standpoint. But Sunday morning was perfect, absolutely perfect from a fishing standpoint. All right, guys, we were on to day 3, and I only got a couple hours here before we got to head out, but it's definitely a different day. It is very, very, very cloudy. It is a lot cooler. It probably dropped about 10 degrees, and a little foggy in this morning as well. So we're gonna get out as quick as I can here, and hopefully be able to catch some fish before we gotta go home. So let's see what we can do. There's one. There's a fish. Feels good. Ooh, nice bass. Nice bass. Oh yeah, he's dragging himself down. Oh, that's a nice bass. I don't know if it's going to overtake the 3-pound, 8-ounce one from Connie yesterday, but that's a nice hog to start the day with. Abso-frickin-lutely. He's got that in there. And you can see a lot of times with this Johnson Silver Minnow, what it'll do, where it's most effective, is when it gets them in the corner. Raise that up a little bit. When it gets them in the corner of the mouth like this, that is where it's most effective. There we go. That is a... Whoo! Hold on one sec. Let me stop the bait from twirling around. That is another fantastic bass here. And that is now 3 really, really, really nice bass that we have had here. This is going to be, I would think, another 3-pounder. Oh, that's tragic. 2 pounds, 15 ounces. So, I mean, it's as close to 3 pounds as you're going to get there. So, I mean, overall, I'm not going to complain about her. She's a big gal. Yeah, that is a nice fish. Thanks, sweetie. And again, the bait of choice this week really has been that Johnson Silver Minnow with the twister tail. And I'll give you a little bit of an idea of what it is that I'm doing with it. We are fishing in basically all vegetated areas this weekend. We have been fishing in... I had one jump behind me that looks pretty decent sized. But we have been fishing in vegetated areas the entire weekend. And what you want to do in those kind of situations is, number one, very obviously, find something that's weedless. You know, I mean, if you can go with something completely weedless, like a topwater frog, that works perfect. Otherwise, if you do want to throw something else, throw a little different, you can go with a swim jig I've been using, a chatterbait that I've been using, and it is a chatterbait with a weed guard. I know usually they don't have that, but or something exactly like this Johnson Silver Minnow, where it does have very good weed protection with this. And when you're throwing it out there, if you are throwing it into weeded areas or heavily weeded areas, you just have to be a little bit careful about where you're throwing it. If you have little pockets of open water within these weeded areas, that's usually where I end up trying to aim for, because number one, I think it comes through the clearest, and number two, I think that is where you're going to be more likely to find a fish than in just that massively weeded area. You know, heavy mass weeded areas. Sorry, I explained that horribly. There's a fish that just jumped in front of me, so I want to see if I can catch it. There's one. Doesn't feel massive. All right, little guy. Thanks, pal. There's one. There's a fish. Little snake. Here's one. And then it follows it up with that. Also, that lure just came off right as I grabbed him. That was perfect timing. Thanks, buddy. Oh, there's a tap. Another tap. There he is. Got him. Hooked up. There's Snaker. There's one. Feels like a northern. Wow, that is a second fish that has come off while I grabbed it out of the water. Thanks, buddy. That's funny. There's one. There's one. Oh, nice bass. Nice jumper. That's a nice one. Oh, he is staying down and fighting like nobody's business. Oh. Why do I feel like it is? Whew, this is an aggressive bass. You want to know why it's an aggressive bass? Because it's a smallie. Nice. Well, how about that? I didn't want to say anything because I wasn't 100% sure, but I was like, God, that doesn't look like a largemouth. That's because it's not. This is not a spot I would have expected to catch one, but I did. I was harping at Connie, I should say, earlier yesterday about how I have such a hard time catching smallies, and a lot of it's because I just don't fish in areas that have smallies in them a lot. But a really, really nice one right here. I hope that you caught that jump too, because he jumped out of the water about 2 feet. Just for fun, let's take a look at how big he is. 2 pounder, exactly 2 pounds and 1/2 ounce. Well, that is a lot of fun. That is a lot of fun. This is fish number 8 for the day here. Probably fish 8 for the day here. Probably fish number 20, I think, for the actual trip itself. Really, really cool. I can't tell. The last time I caught a smallmouth was probably in Canada, and that was probably 12 years ago. So, very fun. Very fun. A lot of fight to them. Very cool. Thanks, buddy. Nice. That's cool. That's very cool. All right, guys, it's been a great weekend up here at the Willow Flowage with my buddies Connor and Connor. It has been phenomenal just to be able to spend some time with 2 of my oldest friends, and also to do something that I love doing, which is to fish. Overall, I would say the fishing was pretty solid, but just the experience in general of being up here, being out in the wilderness where there is very, very, very few people is absolutely freeing and phenomenal. So 10 out of 10 I would recommend, and thank you guys again for tuning in to another episode of The Strike Zone. We'll see you next time.